Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another final qualification match, this time between SoldieR and Diarouga. The winner of this best-of-7 series, you can see the map pool in front of us with Deccan vetoed from Diarouga and Tar Desert vetoed from SoldieR. The winner of this series will come to the LAN, our tournament here in Manchester, in our studio, and they will compete on the stage. They'll be flown here and put up in a hotel, expenses paid. And it's going to be absolutely awesome. So a lot on the line for these two players. Both of them very, very strong. I think Diarouga, people have their money on, but he's not been playing as much as SoldieR has. SoldieR been practicing a hell of a lot for this tournament. I think he really, really wants to get here and compete on the tournament and get a flight out to the UK. I think him and his girlfriend want to come to Europe. This will be a nice way to get there. What an awesome way to fly out. Diarouga, though, an exceptional player, and I think could definitely make it all the way to the finals of the LAN. A very, very strong player, and Diarouga, going to be a bit of a challenge for SoldieR, I think. But as I've been saying, SoldieR been playing a lot. We'll see what he's got in store for us today. But here he is, starting in the south of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Germans there. Explorer straight to the middle, picks up the first two goats. That's really, really nice. And gonna get there as Germany, which is pretty good, since China have the two monks, or at least one monk and a disciple. But looks like China will select the other two goats there. So it is going to be completely even in the center. But immediately, SoldieR... Oh no, he got one of the goats there. That's really, really strong. I really like this from SoldieR, Kaiserklein. Look what he's done. He's gotten 3 goats by going to the middle, and he's going to build his trading post as well. So instead of just building it at home, it's going to be sort of a more aggressive in the middle trading post that could be less difficult or less easy to defend. It's more vulnerable. But against China, who have that fast fortress style, right, maybe it's fine there. And as a result, he picks himself up 3 goats. But here's China in the north of the map, in the color red. And so far, only on 2 goats, one of which he, of course, started with, as that's just how China rolls. And subscription coming in from Riot Coke. Thank you very much for continuing the subscription there. But Kaiserklein, what do you think of the trading post?
Yeah, as always, it's kind of a trade-off on this map, especially as Germany, because, you do get the goats, you do get more scouting information. Like, for example, now he should realize that Diarouga is taking that. But then, again, you don't get the first XP. And when you ship 2 settler wagons, which is like 4 bills, it's a lot of lost resources. And he will be behind in shipments the whole game because of that. So I'm not sure how good it is. I personally wouldn't go for that, just because having 2 settler wagons early on is just so great for Germany. But anyway, Diarouga is picking up that treasure, and I don't know who wins that, actually, with the macaque. But it looks like SoldieR is going to sack the monkey to just escape his explorer.
Maybe he tries to pull it away here, but yeah, the macaque is going to go down. The explorer lingering just to get a few extra free volleys, because you can do that. China, they're a melee explorer. You're not going to be taking any damage, but yeah, the explorer does escape, but sacrifices the macaque for it. And there's still quite a number of goats on this map to collect. If we turn the fog on, this whole left-hand side is completely unscouted, and we can see on the minimap not 1, but 2 and 3 and even 4 goats. So losing the macaque there, a big deal for SoldieR, and not going to have that. Is this goat going to get caught by the monk? No, I think it will get away to safety there, but that monk is hot on its tail, pursuing. No goats up this side, SoldieR. He's not going to find them. But regardless, quite a nice start. Got a few extra goats from the middle. And that's really nice as Germany. You can't be expecting to do that if because usually you'd be going for a trading post in base. But here, wanting to be more aggressive, I really, really like it. But he's going to find a goat up on the top there. Let's take a look at the treasures so far. Just Diarouga finding the 85 wood, which is really, really solid. What else have we got on the map here? 80 coin, that's a big one as well. And Diarouga could well go for that. His opponent is on the other side of the map here and is not going to be able to contest it. And that is the case. China going to go for 80 coin right away.
Yeah, and there's also an 80 food on the left, which is not going to be super relevant anymore, just because they are going to be aging before they can pick that up. But there's also a 50 wood, which is pretty nice. And yeah, one thing to mention is that, well, Germany did get a TP, right? It was a wood start, because China always gets the same crates, but for Germany, it's just a huge boost. I think he had the best possible start. I'm pretty sure it was 300 food and 200 wood, so it's just very great for Germany. Just wanted to say that, because between that and getting like, just 100 less wood, right? 300 food, 100 wood. It's not the same game. So and Diarouga is gonna pick that 50 wood up. So at least even if Germany has a TP, Diarouga is getting really great treasures, while SoldieR got like nothing.
And Soldiers like kind of skipped out on a lot of the goats on the other side as well. Diarouga not only great treasures, but also going to be able to pick up the rest of these goats here. Looks like the German explorer not wanting to go that way, but at least it was a great start for Germany. So overall things probably even, but Diarouga going to be very, very pleased with that age 1. Looks like though we are now up to the colonial age. SoldieR going up with the quartermaster there, and Diarouga going to go up with the summer palace. And it looks like we see immediately.
Back.
With the 400
he's going
woodies.
back. I'm not sure. I think it's because he wanted to maybe go for some kind of double pressure, but in fact Diarouga is going for a consulate and not a naked FF. So he's probably going to start with 300 export and get some red coats, which is a nice answer to any kind of Doppel or Ulan early aggression from Germany. It does slow down your age up, but it makes it a little bit safer. And it's not as all-in as a unit shipment, right? Because you get export, you get 300, like the cheaper alliance to British, and you get your consulate. So maybe SoldieR decided he didn't want to train Dobbs to just like end up being shot by redcoats.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Interesting.
SoldieR being very diligent, right? That explorer in his opponent's base, they're checking out what's going on. He saw the consulate, and that forward villager decided to get back and not go with the forward barracks after all that you were sort of mentioning. Instead, just going to play it safe with the sort of standard German stable at home there, train some Ulans during transition, and sort of use them to raid. But the free Ulan do come out onto the map. They pick up the disciple there, and are going to pick up the monk. His name's Zong Ping as well. Kaiser, I can always tell you when you want to speak and something's gone wrong. You just can't sit still. What do you want to say? You're bursting. You have to say it. Go on.
No, it just feels so sad for China. I don't know. It's kind of a big mistake because you know there's going to be 2 Ulans and you know exactly when. It's like 40 seconds after Germany's up. And losing that dude is huge because, well, you're going to lose it most likely. But if you lose it under your TC, you can do much more damage, punch with villagers at the same time. Like make that monk pay off. But here he just donated 100 XP basically, or 90 XP rather. And he can't use his monk anymore, and it's just very sad. Another thing I wanted to say is that SoldieR went for a stable, and I was not sure I liked that, just because, like I said, there's going to be red coats. But in fact, he's going for a naked FF. He's not training any Ulans from the stable, so it sounds to me like a pretty good answer to this build order from Diarouga. Like he's not going to play right into his hands and train some cav against these super strong Chinese musketeers, I mean British Chinese musketeers, and he's just going to age up faster to try and punish that slower build order from Diarouga.
Yeah, I really like that. He just got a few Ulans out here, but they're being used to pick up treasures. He went by the looks of it for the 150 coin treasure out on the map there. So instead of risking being in your opponent's base and taking shots from the strong redcoats, that's what he's done. He's sort of going out with them, using them kind of more effectively for almost eco, so to speak there. But yeah, did lose the monk, but now China is up to the next age. In fact, both players are. China going to be aging with the porcelain tower, so going to be having that nice 4 wood trickle. Does lose an Ulan there, trying to come in for a cheeky raid, but the low HP one I think got shot down. The one that there was a lower HP Ulan here that was fighting a tiger for the treasure, but the other 2 Ulan from the age up, the 3 settler wagon shipment, do manage to pick up a villager constructing the market here. So and looks like coming back in with the other 3, keeping these musketeers busy whilst these 2 come in to pick up another villager. Diarouga is on point today, though, has 3 Quang pikemen there. They're going to chase off the cav, and if he's careful, no, it looks like he is going to get away. Not going to go the side that the musketeers are on. Going to take the free side where he knows he can't be shot at and can leave there. But both players now up to the Fortress Age. SoldieR, as you said, went up with the naked FF 700 coin first, but has no wood shipment here, and as a result has to have 14 villagers on wood just to make sure he's got enough houses being produced. So this is going to affect his sort of his unit mass. He's not got as many villagers gathering resources to train units, and clearly doesn't look like he intends to sort of ship any wood, just so he can sort of be more aggressive with those shipments. Here we go. Okay, so SoldieR actually going to send 1,000 wood, be a little bit more greedy. Germany. Looks like that Explorer just going to pick up a 40 wood treasure. Perhaps he'll get in position to build the in-base TP, which he sort of left free since he got the middle one earlier. He can get his veterancy upgrade on the Cav. And of course, with only a stable, he's going to need to put down a barracks as well. So going to get lots of infrastructure, and that would going to be really, really helpful. But China on the move now. We see some units coming out. Looks like they're going to push forward towards the trading post here and get some damage. And Diarouga might not might not have any trouble killing that. There's, Germany sending 1,000 wood means he's not going to have any, 8 skirmishes or something like that to vent against this. Looks like this trading post is going to be taken down for free almost, and that's one of the issues you have when sending 1,000 wood. So Diarouga not going to let SoldieR get away with that, even though SoldieR, Diarouga I don't think knows the wood is there, but either way, SoldieR not getting away with it for free.
Yeah, he's going to replace it instantly in his base, so it's kind of like 200 of the 1k wood just disappeared, right? So it's not ideal. And it always feels a little bit awkward to rush to Fortress, like make no units and just go straight settler bag and turn on coin and get up really quick just to then like send 1k wood and be passive. Feels always a little bit weird to me. I feel like when you do that, you need to first ship 1 unit shipment maybe to try to pressure a bit. Like he could have 3 war wagons and been pressuring that mass of units from Diarouga because there's no skirmishers there, and then ship 1k wood maybe. But anyway, we'll see what he can do with that. SoldieR might be going for mercs. He's shipped 1k gold and he's got 20 vils on coin as well. So he's gonna be.
Oh wow!
Mercs,
Have you seen his deck? Oh my goodness. I mean, he's got all of the cards you'd need in Colonial and Fortress, but quite a few extra in the Industrial Age there. 2 heavy cannons, 3 horse artillery, Ulan combat there, as well as 6 settler wagons. He's really set up for the late game here, but China Cav coming in hot on top of those 5 skirmishers. Look, a really nice job of splitting them up in different different directions. I really, really like that. Going to defend and save as many as he can. His army is now here. The China Cav moving towards the war wagons. They get pushed away from that, trying to get back to the muskets here, and Germany gonna try and retreat, doesn't want to take the fight, but China gonna push in hot, gonna force, get on top of those. There's a lot of war wagons here. I feel a bit worried for the China Cav, but the Monk is up and running and tanking all of that damage there, you see. So these China Cav not taking any damage yet. Monk now goes down. Muskets have now caught up since the China Cav has snared all of these units here, and China now lots of muskets doing lots of damage here, and you can see Germany frantically trying to get away. They don't want to be in that fight.
Yeah, maybe not the greatest micro here from SoldieR. I feel like he could have dealt with that a little bit better. There were no skirmishers, so no real counter to the war wagons. You just need to hit and run maybe a little bit more. This went really well for China, and I don't think it should have. Regardless, though, there's going to be mercs popping. So right now it looks really bad for Germany if you look at the score, but I don't think that's really as bad as it looks. I think we might see like 13 Jaegers popping anytime or something like that. And Jaegers and war wagons would definitely do great against that unit composition from Diarouga.
There they are.
And we do have the Jaegers coming in now, or the Jaegers, I should say, I guess. But...
yeah, aren't they a German unit almost? I mean, I kind of... Wait. Oh dear.
What did you try to say? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh, it doesn't matter. But that's a big raid. That's really, really good for Germany here. Going to deny that village. I think China, Diarouga feeling a little bit confident because he was building a village out there. But just as it was being constructed, obviously you can't garrison in an unconstructed village. And soldiers just being in the right place, able to pick that up and buying a lot of time here. Look at every single China unit now coming back to handle this.
Yeah, but if he loses 7 Newland, it's going to hurt a lot, much more than killing 3 vills or something like that. And it looks like he's going to get away, but there's so many points where China can be shipping something or popping stuff. But
look at this.
He's gonna escape, and he's got a tower there. I really like it, and a nice choke point for him to fight. And with 3 more wagons coming in clutch just at the perfect time. So China is going to have to pull back. That's pretty good for SoldieR here.
Yeah. China not going to want to push in there. This is a really nice spot with the trees there, this natural barrier. All of his skirmishers can be tucked behind here, and Cav will just find it super hard to get over here. And with the outpost as well to garrison the villages if needed, it's just a really nice spot to be sort of sitting on at the moment. And clearly he's going for those really big power units. He wants to get both the mercenary shipments out and then have a big sort of go time by the looks of it, gathering a lot of coin here. But Diarouga settling in. Looks like he wants to choke up this passage. but the war wagon's going to deny that. Another villager going down for China, but this could be even bigger problem for SoldieR. Lots of Ulans next to the Changdao are going to take a few volleys for free. Is the snare going to happen? Oh, he does get the snare. Stop for just a moment. They're going to have to push back if he loses all of these Ulans. And Changdao coming in from the side. Yeah. SoldieR, yes, you killed some villagers, but losing the Ulan is such a big deal. They're all going down, and that could be a real issue for him.
I mean, he did get a couple of free kills when China pushed in his tower. So yeah, it's not good for SoldieR, but he did get free kills himself. I think it's anyone's game at this point. I'm not sure who's gonna win that. They have a similar eco if you factor in the Summer Palace, and I don't know. Maybe if CAF Combat comes in, it could be really strong for Germany, I think, because it's got lots of war wagons, and the Jaegers are gonna be hard for China to deal with. But it's gonna be close. It's gonna depend also on how well SoldieR can micro, because we all know how hard it is to hit and run the China dashboard.
Oh no! This is not good.
Couple of years.
Yeah, just sort of sitting out there on the hunt there, just trying to bring them in. But China is going to, I think, pick up at least a settler and a settler wagon. The other one might be able to make it home. Is it going to get there in time? Oh my God! No, they both go down. Oh, that's 5 villages in total that he lost here, but the war wagons have now returned. Looks like lots of China cav going down there, but the RWCA in the back got some shots on the war wagon. You see, I think there's 2 there, have gone down, and now China is going to leave, and China back ahead in terms of economy, and in fact will be even further ahead than Germany, since the Summer Palace is not taken into account on here and generates units for free, which is sort of like having economy.
Yeah. Plus a consulate, right? It's also export. You don't have that as Germany, and it's extra resources. So SoldieR kind of has to take a fight rather soon before China really gets out of control. I don't know if he can though, but he kind of has to, like, either take a fight or just raid on the map and just like multitask. But he has to do something. He can't be passive anymore. I think it's gonna get out of control if he just waits too much. And he's kind of running in the cav here, but he's got so many war wagons getting good volleys. If he gets snared though, this could be bad for SoldieR, because there's so many Chinese units coming in and no Ulans to block. Usually you want your Ulans to be snaring and blocking a bit, but here he doesn't have any of these. But doing a good job of hit and running with his war wagons at least. And might get CAF Combat in just in time, I'm not sure. No, he's got 8 skirms.
Yeah, 8 skirms came in, and now the Changdao on top of the war wagon. But thankfully, war wagons have quite a lot of melee resist there, and also the Jaeger's going to make short work of them. But you can see the big China infantry mass, the muskets, and the arquebusier. They're getting very, very close, and now basically on top of those skirmishes here, war wagons dropping down very, very quickly. And this is, kind of awkward for SoldieR. He wanted to be over here fighting in this choke, I think, but lost too many villagers, and as you said, sort of had to push out and do something about it here. But 9 Ulans coming in hot, and no cavalry here, or anti-cav even. Look, they're all dead. 9 Ulans. They're not veteran, though. They are veteran. Oh my goodness. And that's going to be really, really good. But there are red... yes.
Diarouga is not paying attention here. He's not bringing his redcoats to fight the Ulans, and they're even going in melee mode against the skirms and the war wagons. Although there's 3 Changdaos, but I think SoldieR is microing pretty well here, and he might actually...
He might. And look, 5 more Ulans coming in as well. I think he's got it. He's going to clean it up. And there's only 1 Changdao left. Oh my goodness, SoldieR still in this here, managing to take this fight when perhaps he sort of shouldn't have done there. I'm going to clean up all of the Chinese infantry, and SoldieR now in a great spot. Look at the economy's very even. Of course, the Summer Palace and the Consulate China still ahead, but at least he's sort of back in the game and can still fight here. Right, let's take a look at the hunts though, because that's going to be the next issue. It's all about map control now that they've sort of evened out each other's armies and everything's still sort of very even. In terms of hunts, SoldieR does have some near an outpost there, which is kind of nice, and some coin and some food down here as well. It's going to be hard to be on both sides. I'd really like to see a wall where the red wall is there, just to stop any red units. A gate could be made and coming through, just so his army, where it is now, can stay here with the safety, knowing that these villagers on the top sort of will be fine. But the real fight is going to be sort of in the middle. There's an extra hunt and a coin mine there as well, and Diarouga sort of on his last hunt here, so he'll be moving out very shortly to grab that there. So fighting going to be moving around the map as the resources get used up.
And Diarouga kind of got too many villages on the right part of the map, like around this cliff here. There's like 4 villages, and he would maybe like to have some on the left where he's gathering now some hunts.
Manchu archers though.
Manchu though are gonna be really, really nice, but Germany's just ahead now in military, and if he can get CAF combat, I think that card is kind of long overdue. CAF combat would be just so good. But here we have a fight.
Yep.
I think Germany is just fine here. If you can hit and run enough, there's just not enough to deal with the war wagons or just with everything, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the Manchu are very strong, and they'll deal with the Uhlans very, very quickly, but you're right, there's so many war wagons in the back here that the China Cav aren't going to be really all that threatening to the skirmishers, but the skirmisher mass is dropping quite quickly, and the Arquebusier and the Manchu sort of focusing down on them here, trying to get back here. Skirmisher count really starting to dwindle, and he's already sent both his 8 and 7 skirm shipments, so getting back up in skirm numbers could be sort of very, very challenging here. China doing very well in this fight.
Yeah, kind of surprising. I feel like SoldieR missed microed a little bit maybe. And now he's sending his Uhlans in against so many Manchus and letting his war wagons get sniped. This looks not so good for SoldieR. I think he could have done much better. You see all the dead war wagons, like it's so painful. And the Uhlans dropping like paper against Manchus, obviously. So at the end of the day, well, like,
that's
China's
awkward.
just got much more.
And look at this, so many golden food villages. That could be the end of the game there. And Diarouga, he knows it. He's just going to head straight on over to those villages there and sort of clean them up here.
Yeah, that could be just GG. I mean, what is Germany going to do now? He's got
5
5
Doppelsodners.
but it's... Dops are not very useful, but I guess it's the only unit shipment he's got. He hasn't used 8 Uhlans, though, so I'm not sure why he's not... He doesn't have 8 Uhlans in deck.
Yeah, but maybe...
He has 5 Dops.
Maybe he can get a really good pop on top of those Manchu with the Dops. Maybe he can get them up close without Diarouga. No, all the Dops are going down. They're being focused very, very quickly. You can see the Arquebusier taking care of them really fast.
It's pretty close, though.
Yeah, another batch of skirmishers and 5 Uhlans as well coming in. Lots of war wagons. They're very, very tanky. This is okay. The Manchu going down.
Units of Diarouga having to cross the map, right? So it's very close here. But soldiers, Uhlans just walking here, not fighting. Like these small micro mistakes can cost him a lot at this point, and it's just so close. I don't want to say who wins this fight because I don't know. It's gonna depend who can micro better.
Yeah,
I guess SoldieR got it though.
Yeah, it looks like he's got it there. The Manchu, like China, pushing in, and this is actually, I think, quite good for SoldieR here. These arquebusiers, what are they called? Changdao just pushing in, and he's going to have 5 more skirmishers and a batch of Uhlans any moment now. There we are, 5 skirms, 3 Uhlans coming out. Looks like Redcoats have been trained again. He's gotten enough export for that, and a few Changdao streaming in as well. But SoldieR absolutely fine here. And the villages that were so vulnerable, they've moved off to other locations. They are safe here. But the fighting continues in the middle of the map.
Oh, and Diarouga is stacking lots of resources, but he's starting to spend them now. He really needs to re-macro a bit, because you can't afford to stack like 700 food, 700 gold like Diarouga does just now. In this kind of super tense game. SoldieR is stacking lots of gold, but I think he's gonna ship the Black Riders. He's got a shipment ready and he's waiting to get his 1k gold to ship it. And that is gonna be strong considering that he has no unit shipment left. It's kind of his only way to get a big power spike. So
God, look at the food. It's just so little of it, and Diarouga just being very diligent, sort of forcing it back there. His hunts are a little bit split in the center, but these are really the only food locations left on the map. We could see a mill plantation switch if the game continues in this very even way that it has. But yeah, I think the fighting is going to come over here next. I think that's the big location. That's where all sort of the resources are at. But looks like
here as well. It's going to be in the middle of the map here for sure. And Germany is going to be very concerned about having gold. And he really needs to keep securing these gold mines. And right now he's probably like sweating because he's waiting for his Black Riders.
Yeah. The bills. Where are the Black Riders, SoldieR? They take 40 seconds to train. No, a whole minute, I think, actually. It's a lot longer.
A whole minute, yeah. Instead of 40 seconds. And you do need to invest 1k gold. So it's like you're so weak when they're on the way.
But
when they come, it's such a nice power spike. But Diarouga is just going so heavy on infantry. These Black Riders are not going to be so huge. And look at this. Iron troops. These guys are so strong. 60% range resist and 25 attack with twice the rate of fire. And SoldieR losing bills. I think it's kind of over. He has no way to deal with the Iron troops at this point.
Yeah, the Iron Troops really exceptional. They're good against heavy infantry. They're just good against everything. They're such a strong unit. Yeah.
Yeah, it just does look over to me. It's also the point where you see the reliance on the resources is very important. Germany needs lots of gold, while China doesn't need too many resources. And now he has to keep fighting, even if he can't. He has to keep fighting this just to get gold. But
the iron troops, man.
It's just GG at this point. The iron troops are gonna tear through everything.
They're very, very strong. GG, SoldieR calling it there. This army goes down, and then the villagers, what do? But what a close game, actually, throughout. There's a couple of moments there where it looked like SoldieR really wasn't looking too good. But then clutch batches of units coming in. I think the first, that 3 war wagon shipment at this outpost there. And then earlier, the vills were all going to get mowed down, but we saw some units come from the barracks to save them.
Yeah, really, it was just a really back and forth game, but at the end of the day, China just kind of wins in late fortress, so you have to make something happen a little bit earlier, and I feel like SoldieR had the opportunity to win. If you look at the graphs at like 18 minutes or something, he was really ahead in military, and he just kind of mismicroed against the Manchus and lost everything, and I think that just cost him the game. After that first fight where he just like cleaned up everything with Uhlans, he kind of threw the game, and that was a really good game. But we have to keep in mind that this was SoldieR's main civ. He can still use it though, but I'm just saying Diarouga taking like the first game against SoldieR's main civ, so it's definitely gonna be good for his how do you say,
for his ego.
Yeah, right, for his ego.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, wow, what a game. But Diarouga ultimately picking up the first victory there with China. But as Kaiserklein is saying, SoldieR can still play his strongest civilization, which is Germany. Diarouga can no longer play China, and Diarouga now has to pick first in this next match since he won that previous game here. We are now in the lobby. Let's take a look at Diarouga already picking Portuguese here on Baja, California. But Portuguese definitely got a lot of water potential in this map. Lots of water, in fact, on both sides. Could be a very strong civ to play on this map here.
Yeah. It's I don't know, it's kind of a weird, not weird, but ports are this kind of civ which are really not super versatile, you know. It's kind of a bit dangerous to pick them first. It's not like you're picking France or Germany or something like that, you know. My point is that it is a good civ, but yeah, for example, Brits definitely counter ports. Even on water, I think they are just better at going water. So, you know, picking this first, maybe SoldieR is going to be happy about this matchup, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I think the other issue for ports on this map can sometimes be the hunts are, spread all around the map. There's not really a super large number in your base, and as ports, it's, you got those 3 TCs if you're rushing up to the fortress age, and, food could be an issue. So British could take map control and control all the hunts there, but ports probably going to be on the water, which will mitigate some of that. But let's get in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've just tuned in, this is game number 2 in a best-of-7 series between SoldieR and Diarouga on the second map here, which is Baja, California. The winner of this series will qualify for the LAN and will be flown to the UK, to Manchester, to our studio to compete in the 4-day New World Championship event. The loser will drop down to the lower bracket where there is still a position to qualify, and they can still make it here, but certainly a lot on the line for this game. There'll be a lot of peace of mind and a lot of celebrating, I imagine. So a lot here for both players. This means a lot to them. Diarouga, I think, fancies himself as the winner of the whole tournament. Here he is in the left-hand side of the map in the color red, playing as the Portuguese there. It is a 200 wood start, and the Explorer immediately going to rush up to the top of the map there to build the trading post by the looks of it. British, however, looks like they're going straight to the middle. Here is SoldieR in the right-hand side of the map in the color blue, and I think he would also very much like to qualify, get to the UK for free. and also compete in the tournament. That would be really, really nice for him. I think he's hoping very much to do that. But British going to go with a mid-map TP here. So looks like we could see, we'll take a look at his deck in a moment, something Virginia company orientated, which could be quite good against the Portuguese. But ultimately not the standard start from British. We usually see Manners instead going to get that TP, and he's going to get the first pass in time. Really, really nice there. Diarouga, he knows, I think he's missed the... I think he's T.Y. Garja, manages to get the first pass there. Really, really nice for him. But Diarouga, he's spending quite a lot of time gathering the 95 wood.
Yeah. There has been kind of polemic recently about these trading posts, because now you can get the first XP, and it's like a kind of Great Plains trading post where you get an insane XP directly, and you see he's already got 3 bills on the way, like super early. And he was also lucky enough to find a 60 wood on his way, so he didn't even need to chop anything for the mana, or he could just build it. But at the same time, Diarouga was able to find a 95 wood, which means he's going to be able to drop a TP and still probably age up with 13 villagers, which is kind of big as ports, since if you age up at 13, it means you can train vills earlier from your second town center. And usually when you go for a TP, you can't really do that. You have to age up 14. So it's kind of a really nice start for boss players.
Oh, a bit of banter going on in the chat here. Yeah, Diarouga said, "Thank you for telling me where you are," when SoldieR was like, "Cheers, Garja," who, of course, was the maker of the map. He was basically telegraphing that he'd gotten the first pass, where sometimes I don't think that always happens. And he basically... Diarouga knew where he was then as a result of that. But where am I now? Yeah, chasing this explorer all the way home to the Portuguese base there. But Portugal, he's had a good start, really. He's got his 95 wood and the trading post there. He is kind of found, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, but like, how early did these 3 bills come in? It's just insane, right? I mean, 1 minute 40. It's really like Great Plains. And now SoldieR is gonna find Diarouga's explorer, and just go.
He's got the treasure there, and I think SoldieR trying to tilt Diarouga here. Really try. He's saying a lot in the chat. I think this might almost be right. I need to get Diarouga on tilt, because when Diarouga gets salty, he really does quite get angry. So hopefully SoldieR trying to play that card there, trying to play that angle and make it work. Lots of chatting going on here. But yeah, both players now up to the colonial age. They've clicked up here. Diarouga, SoldieR going to be going up with the governor, which is 200 coin, and of course the outpost as well. Diarouga going to go up with the quartermaster for 400 wood, and we see already he's shipped schooners, so intending to go full water. We see SoldieR sort of scouting it, but does not see any dock just yet. So I think Diarouga going to feel pretty good that SoldieR's had a look, and Diarouga might be able to get away with the dock without SoldieR realizing that it's there, unless he comes back to sort of scout it later on. But we know Diarouga sent schooners and full intends to go water here. But he's had a look. He's now going to leave the base there and perhaps come back later on.
If he looks at his deck, it's kind of obvious he's gonna go water. I just checked, and it's really heavy water. And I feel like if you don't go water with this kind of deck, you pretty much kind of lose. I mean, but something I wanted to talk about is that SoldieR did not go for Virginia Company, so he just took the middle TP because it's really good. No matter your Civ, if you can get that TP, it's just really good. It's like on Great Plains, and I don't really like that, because he even got 110 XP of treasures, so he could easily go for Virginia Company. Look, he's stacking 2 shipments now. He's gonna have like 3 shipments back to back. But maybe there's a reason why he didn't go Virginia Company. Maybe he has a more aggressive build in mind. We'll have to see what SoldieR does.
Yeah, we'll take a look.
And he keeps scouting the shore on top, and he's gonna find that. That's gonna be big.
Yeah, it looks like Diarouga is going to go on both sides, but the native scout he picked up earlier, let's turn Control-Shift-F on. I don't think it's in line of sight.
No.
I don't think he quite saw that, but he'll know that he's not really looking. I don't think he's seen it. Oh my, that's a big deal for him, unless he goes back there later. But SoldieR frantically looking around here. This scout really coming back in. He's checking the water. He can see Diarouga's deck. He knows it's water orientated. He's like, where are the docks? What's going on here? I need to know. And he's not, I think, found any. He might come across this one a bit further up, but the natural barriers here are going to stop him. That's a really nice base, actually. The way this is, the way this sort of natural land is formed. But Diarouga 700 wood coming in on the floor there, and with it, we're going to see a double dock boom with schooners. Pardon me. Also, a trading post on the bottom of the map. Looks like though, British also going to be sending 700 wood, and has started with a stable. Let's switch on over to units in queue, and yes, hussars queued up as well. And the outpost. Oh wow, going up on the coast here. So he's found the dock, and he's got his outpost down. And that's going to give him a bit of control over the water there, perhaps later on. And just some map control generally sort of in this location. British, can place it here because Portuguese, I don't think, are going to be able to contest it for some time. So a really nice outpost placement there.
Even being annoying and shooting at the fishing boats, forcing them, I mean, not forcing, but they automatically go away when they get shot. So gonna kind of idle some fishing boats with this tower there. They don't really shoot like on vanilla, like with a cannonball, but
yeah, they count as
annoying.
The fishing boats count as villages and not boats, so the outpost can't use its anti-ship attack versus fishing boats, which is unusual to me, but such is the way of things. Yeah. But 2 cavalry do pick up the villager on the north that constructed 2 docks, and SoldieR has found both of them. He's got his scout in the stealth ability, so he can't be seen by these docks, but he's got full vision of what's going on over there.
Yeah, and so he's
2 Vels.
All the docks at this point. Like, he knows there's 3 docks, and he's getting 2 caravels along with the tower. And this might force... Oh, Diarouga shipping caravels himself, but the tower is just better than the dock. So he can't really take a fight, but... SoldieR might need more than 2 caravels now, because he's got 2, but Diarouga as well. Yeah. And kind of a nice job from Diarouga there, anticipating the caravels. Because he doesn't need to ship caravels himself, right? There's no water to attack, but he wants to defend. So he just figured out that SoldieR would ship caravels because of that tower here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a nice reaction from Diarouga.
I really like the outpost. It's gives these caravels so much more extra oomph, and you could see him trying to take down as many fishing boats as he can. Obviously, each garrisoned fishing boat in that dock will give the dock an anti-ship attack, so trying to stop the fishing boat mass numbers. Oh, and a 3rd caravel coming out as well, being trained from the dock there, and that's going to spell a really big deal. 2 caravels against 3, and I think one's already taken a broadside, so I think SoldieR going to lose the Vels here on this side. He's got a dock of his own and a caravel in queue at that dock by the looks of it. And
he's kind of paying maybe the fact that he tried to he tried to push on top as well. Maybe he should have focused on one side to begin with, because now he's gonna lose 2 caravels in the bottom while his caravel on
top. Of boat micro here, trying to move it around and stop the boat from getting our target locked, and successful. Manages to take down both Vels. Yeah, imagine if he trained this caravel that he built on the top side on the bottom side. Then these 3 caravels, it would have been 3 versus 3. It would have been much more even.
Yeah, also because that caravel on top anyway can't do too much, because one caravel is not going to take on a dock with the warship attack, and now Diarouga is able to train one on top, and he's got the advanced warship card as well and the rendering plant. So at this point, Diarouga is able to hold despite shipping the fishing upgrade. So he's in a really good spot, I think. Yeah, you can see the eco is already even, and it's gonna keep getting better and better for Diarouga. And the Huss are not doing too much, but now we have 2 forward Raxes from SoldieR in the middle of the map. So he's looking to apply some more land pressure, maybe because he realizes that he's not going to be able to do too much on water for the time being, and just wants to pressure a little bit more on land instead.
Yeah.
That caravel is dead as well. Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, SoldieR being fully repelled off the water here. He's trying to contest it, but Diarouga on point today, and as you mentioned, improved warships in as well. Is just going to make his boats exceptionally strong. But looks like a big push on land is coming. 5 pikes have been trained. Minutemen being called here to force the pikes and hussars away. Looks like he's just going to go in there and take that down, snare the Minutemen, and let those pikes get away. They're still following. They're only just turned around. But yeah, I think Diarouga in a very, very nice... Pardon me, I keep having these hiccups. In a really, really nice spot. He's secured both waters and basically took out SoldieR's 2 caravel shipment for free. He's in a really, really good spot. But Minutemen dealt with really quickly, actually. And now the pike's able to come back in here. Diarouga, by the looks of it, sending 700 coin. And he's looking to sort of age up get to the Fortress Age, but it's a very long way off. You know, there's not very much food in his... Well, actually, he's got enough food there and the coin on the floor. But SoldieR's trying to delay that. Lots of pikes here. Going to force a big reaction. He's going to have to train musketeers to handle the pikes. And, yeah, he's got musks in queue here. So SoldieR not going to let Diarouga get up for free.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of pikes, and they kind of make sense only if you also bring longbows along. But, okay, SoldieR kind of giving free kills here, just hesitating and then not going in. And you know, if he just had like even 5 longbows, it would be enough to just keep pressuring. But now he's gonna have to go back because his pikes are so useless. He needed to make some real units, if you know what I mean.
And gonna lose all the ground that he gained.
Sorry, what?
He's going to lose all the ground that he gained because, you know, without the longbows here, the Vils can just, you know, fix the walls, and he's going to have to push in all over again. Thankfully, EP walls only have 1,500 hit points, and pikes can take that down pretty fast, but it's not looking good for SoldieR. He lost his water, and his land push wasn't overly successful either, and now Diarouga about to click up. 33 Vils on food. Did not take him long to get that 1.2k food, and is now going to put the Fortress Age in queue. Let's switch on over to text being researched to see what he goes up with. Any moment now, I expect him to click that up there. Yeah, he clicks up, and he's going to be going up with the Exiled Prince.
Yeah, Diarouga just having free reign on the water on both sides, and like I guess I have to check. SoldieR doesn't have the privateers I used against Kinesi, you know, because that's a big swing. Even if you have no water control, if you ship 4 privateers, it's a big power spike, and you might be able to take one side. But he has only 1 frigate, and I don't think 1 frigate is gonna do much against everything Diarouga has. So looks like SoldieR probably lost the control of the water, maybe for the whole game, and that looks very hard to win now. But maybe if he gets a stagecoach, which it looks like he's trying to do, and if he has a strong push on land, maybe he's gonna be able to win. But it does look pretty good for Diarouga at this point.
Yeah. Having said that, though, SoldieR's score is ahead, and SoldieR has 2 shipments saved up as well. So once he hits Fortress Age, he's going to have shipments coming thick and fast. So he could have a nice push coming. But you are right, 1 frigate against improved warship caravels. There's 2 of them there, and Diarouga can easily train more. Will be tough, but he's coming in. He's got some longbows now. He's got some pikes. Just doing a bit of damage there whilst Diarouga hasn't got his first shipment out. Just take the walls down.
There's an artillery foundry, so you can see Diarouga plays it very similar to Kinesi. They know each other pretty well and probably trained in water games together. And you see he's just walling up really, really well, and just not bothering, right? Just not shipping units. He's shipping refrigeration for just more boom, and just gonna get organ guns, because nothing can beat organ guns plus walls until you get yourself falconets or coverings, which SoldieR might get soon because he's himself dropping an artillery foundry now, and that's going to be interesting. I guess if SoldieR can swing the artillery fight, he might have a real shot at pushing.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be able to, because Diarouga, intending to go up to the industrial age here, 2k and 2k food and 1.2k gold. They're just training the 1 organ gun, and is got it in queue. Let's switch over to text being researched. Going to go up with the Tycoon for 1,000 gold here, and this might give SoldieR a big timing to sort of push in. It's going to be a while before the industrial age clicks in, but I don't know. Let's take a look. He's got 1 Culve in queue there, not a Falconet, so he's not going to have the sort of siege that he needs to push in. And I think actually Diarouga will be able to get up to the next stage. There is no food in Diarouga's base, so he's building a mill. But remember, he's got the ocean and all that fish there. So Diarouga pretty fine just to sit tight and hunker down. I think British, he needs to be pushing when these artilleries pop, but Culverins just aren't going to be the force that he needs to do lasting damage.
But SoldieR's aging as well, actually. He shipped 1k gold, and I wasn't sure if this was for artillery or for an age up, but it looks like he's aging now and has 2 shipments stacked. But it's kind of playing into Portuguese hands, because you have to keep applying pressure when you're behind in economy. Also, the scores look really close, even SoldieR being ahead. But this doesn't take into account the fact that Diarouga has all these upgrades, right? Like refrigeration doesn't bring you any score, but it's an upgrade. Same for Colonial Militia. Diarouga has Colonial Militia. Improved Warships and Rendering Plant. All these are cards that bring you no score, but in fact they are worth a lot at this point. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for SoldieR, and Diarouga being up earlier. I don't know what SoldieR is going to be able to do here. He probably has to really push hard with artillery. It's his only chance, I guess.
Yeah, and Bastion coming in as well. These walls, 400% more hit points coming in, and are going to be very difficult to destroy there. But yeah, British going up to the industrial age, and he's got 2 shipments available. So in quick succession, we're going to see well, rockets potentially, and obviously the factories as well. Maybe he'll start with the factories, and those represent sort of 10 villages each. So he's still got quite a lot of eco potential to catch up with his opponent here, given that second town centre just being created. He's got his stagecoach in, which is 4 villages each roughly, and 2 factories is about 20 more villages. So he could well catch up here. But Diarouga, his first factory coming in as well. I suppose he has all those sort of very same tools to keep up.
Yeah, right.
And Diarouga mixing in Culverins as well with his army here, and it won't be long before Diarouga really starts to get a big sort of dragoon mass. He can perhaps get his dragoon upgrades in, the Jeanettes, and then Portuguese going to be very, very scary, especially because since, British, soldier playing the British, he can't be training any skirmishes, just doesn't have access to that as a unit.
Yeah, but it's just so tough. Oh, what is this eco discrepancy now? Wait, did SoldieR just lose villages somewhere?
No, the factory came in from Diarouga to boost it up by 10.
Oh yeah, because he's on only 60 vills, so.
But his factory has just come. He's coming in with the infantry, going to try and focus down the organ guns there. He's going to be able to do that.
I don't know why, because he's got 3 Culverins, so I don't know why he's using his infantry to attack the cannon when he's got 1 more Culverin than Diarouga.
Yeah.
But also, all these pikes are going to be so rubbish now against this army, so.
I think he has to really hope for a big sort of lack of control moment from Diarouga and get his pikes up in the face of the goons or something. But, Diarouga better than that, and probably won't let that happen. Is creeping forward with the Culverins now. Perhaps he can get a volley on the artillery there. Turn Control Shift F on and see what he can see. Well, not too much.
It's really hard to see anything at this point.
Diarouga training by the looks of it, a monitor. Or is that a frigate? No, that's a monitor.
If he can train a monitor on the right side of the map, well, actually even on both sides.
And he's got a church coming in as well.
He can reach stuff.
Robber Barons. Diarouga fully upgraded now. He's got both his factories out, and this Portuguese economy a force to be reckoned with, and very soon we'll see Jeanette Dragoons coming in. He just needs the 1,000 gold for that. Looks like he sold some resources to get to it, and now being upgraded to Jeanette Dragoons. These are going to be very, very strong. This is a big push for SoldieR. This needs to do something. It's
yeah. But I mean, it's just Falconets and not even upgraded yet. Diarouga has Royal Culverins.
Coming in with the Culverins, though. If he can get some good volleys here, this will be really, really strong. And SoldieR... SoldieR's had...
Yeah, go ahead.
Pikes coming in. Yeah, they're going to get on the top of the Dragoons.
But there's still 3 curves up for Diarouga, and just Falks. Like...
Culverin Royale upgrades, making Red's Culverins much stronger than the blue ones. Throughout this tournament, we've actually seen, and in show matches as well, very good artillery control from SoldieR. Can he take down the Culverins with his Falcons? It looks like they're just about in range. Can he get the shots off? But there's so many Dragoons here as well.
Yeah, and any kind of these trades are just so good for ports because he's got more eco and he's just got his walls behind it, so he doesn't care too much. And he's just killing a bunch of infantry with organ guns and trading. Well, he maybe didn't have the best covering control, kind of. Like, I think he could have killed all the Falconets there, but regardless, just look at the graphs, and look at the score. 100 more score for SoldieR. And what are the monitors doing, though? Just wondering. He's got a monitor on the left, but not really using it. But yeah, I just don't know what you do here as SoldieR. I guess you maybe try to go back on water, hope Diarouga doesn't see it and just clean up one side or something.
Yeah, but Diarouga going to push... Oh no, he's not going to push that side anymore. Blue wall going to keep them out for the time being. Two heavy cannons coming in, and I think this will signal a big push moment for SoldieR. Yeah, the heavy cannons going towards that not particularly strong wall, and SoldieR going to have to go the long way around to defend this. He has got 5 culverins in there, though, so any artillery that Diarouga does have, he's going to be able to deal with very, very easily. But it's so hard to deal with the Jeanette Dragoons, because what do you make as British to handle those?
Well, you kind of have to go for longbows, and that's why he just shipped yeomen and got the arsenal archaic infantry HP, whatever it's called, infantry breastplate, right? Yeah, you kind of have to go longbows, so he's probably soon going to be taking the guard longbow upgrade, but it's really hard to deal with heavy plus goons, although he does have culverins, but Jeanettes are kind of culverins themselves, and...
the culverins!
What? No.
They do get a shot off on the heavy cannons here, but... and they are going to get away, most of them still alive, but you're taking a few down for free.
5 kills coming in for Diarouga as well, like just so many cannons. And the thing also is that Diarouga has waves, so he's got a really good source of coin, but SoldieR has to switch to plantations soon, and that's really painful.
Nice culverin war though. I don't know how they're shooting through this impassable land, but they are. It does take down the heavy cannons, that's really, really nice. But 3 culverins left for Diarouga there, and a 4th one coming in as well. And yeah, they're going to get cleaned up by SoldieR there. Does get one final shot off in the middle there. And the Dragoons and Musks trading off here. But the Jeanette Dragoons just really, really efficient. I really like that he's got Town Watch on the Longbowman there as well, just for the bit of extra range.
The line of sight, you mean, yeah.
Yeah, line of sight, pardon me.
Also, it's also really good for artillery wars, because when you have this, plus SoldieR also has the artillery line of sight upgrade.
Mortars.
Gunner's Squadron, and that just means in culverins war you can see your opponent's culverins come from really far and just make sure you can snipe them. And also these mortars, I wonder how much line of sight they have with part of this upgrade.
Damn. That is a big push there. 3 rockets, 3 mortars, 2 cannons here. Thing is though, very, very vulnerable to a cav switch or something like that, but just going to smash down these walls, and yeah, forcing a reaction from Diarouga, just going to leave, come back the other way, but no gates. What's it? Oh, there is a gate.
He can't make gates.
Yeah, he's deleting the wall to get through. Oh dear, but he does get through the walls, and here...
But, yeah, like half of Blue's army is here, and he can't cover the artillery, so this could be a problem, because there's maybe enough Jeanettes to challenge his longbows, although he's popping lots of longbows. So,
Minutemen being called. Here come the culverins, though. But they're wanting to get back.
The mortars maybe going to be able to snap the factory? I don't know if he actually sees it. He's going for the TC, but he could just attack the factory. That could be huge. He's not doing it, though.
He is very close, though. Perhaps he'll see it very soon. But meanwhile, this monitor, where is it? Is just sort of shelling these villages here. Every time the ability recharges. Yeah, look, he just blasts them. And they don't take all that much damage, surprisingly. Yeah, okay, that's not...
It's just a multiplier for the monitor against vills.
Oh, 0.2x multiplier. Yeah, these vills being shot at from the coin mine, they're not going to be there much longer. But big push in the middle. He's it looks like a big batch of cav. I missed this. Tried to come in. But ultimately, he lost a couple of rockets by the looks of it. He's only got 1 left.
I guess the good thing going for SoldieR is that Diarouga is forever passive at this point. Like, he's not counter-raiding or something. He could actually train a galleon here and just stream units in his base or whatever, but he's just defending. And this does look pretty okay for SoldieR, all things considered.
It's looking better and better, isn't it? But lots of cav coming forward onto the guard longbowman there, and there's but the goons coming back. They'll be able to handle that. Egyptian Mamelukes coming out, though. That's a big deal for these cannons. And look, they're all sort of exposed. But they're having a hard time getting into combat. Look at them, flailing around, trying to find their way. They do eventually come through, though.
SoldieR's Dragoons are in melee mode all the time since I don't know when. He's just struggling so much to defend.
And 4 organ guns coming out as well. This could be the end of all this artillery here. And the monitor being used to shell off from offshore. The Dragoons...
And I don't know why he refuses to attack this factory. It's just next. Like, it's definitely in range of these mortars. Well, now they're dead, but he could have got that factory down, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why he didn't. And these guns still, some of them in melee mode, just so
Yeah,
awkward.
you can see them swinging their swords. That's not ideal. They have so much better attack in range. And looks like SoldieR has lost all his artillery, and Diarouga going to close the gaps in this wall now. And without the siege, Diarouga, he's much more safe. He can sort of start to rebuild up, and there's just not as much pushing power from SoldieR here.
Yeah, that kind of trades like we saw just now is really good for Diarouga. He's ahead in eco. Eventually, he will probably win just this war of not even attrition. I don't know how you call that, but the one thing going for SoldieR for sure is that longbows are really strong, especially in this matchup, since Portuguese likes to go for guns. But there's lots of organ guns, so SoldieR might have to go back and bring some culverins in the fight, because that's seven organ guns, yeah. So.
But behind this he is training 2 culves. Looks like blue training culverins, but red also training them as well. This is a big culverin war. Like, I feel like culverins are just coming back into style, into fashion. We're seeing a lot of them. But offshore support, or pardon me, naval gunners coming in for SoldieR, and 2 docks going down as well. So looks like SoldieR looking to make a water push very soon. But Diarouga spots it and going to shell the docks here. It's going to be very hard to get a lot of boats all at once, because you just train them one at a time, and there's already a red navy to handle them as they come out. This is why you need like 4 privateers, like you were mentioning earlier. Isn't going to be able to sneak onto the water, and has just invested a shipment, which may not be particularly useful here.
And it's also just a bad card. I mean, it's okay when you ship it on top of the improved warships, but if you compare these cards, improved warships gives you HP and attack 25%, and this card gives you only 25% attack, so I don't understand why you would ship that one. It's just half as good. But I guess you just assumed it's a better card because it's an H3 one, but it's actually not. Not gonna really matter though, because he can't get any warships out anyway. And on top he's got a dock,
big volleys from the culverins. Nor was I. SoldieR artillery control really, really good, and we've seen this from him like all tournament long, and against Guardia as well. Let's see what he can make happen here. There is a heavy cannon there from, but it is not going to go down just yet. It does pick it off.
That's pretty good for SoldieR.
SoldieR in a good position.
Look at the military 12 for Diarouga. That's ridiculously low, and he has to remass quickly, but he's kind of short on gold somehow. He maybe overestimates the whales a little bit. Might need a couple more plantations regardless of the water here, because he needs more gold to respam. And SoldieR needs to add again some mortars, because he can't really push in without that. I guess he can just slow push with mortars, keep getting good trades with culverins, and just mortar these factories.
He's low on... The reason Diarouga's low on coin is because he's training heavy cannons to handle the longbows, right? He just needs to keep his artillery mass high, and he wants the heavy cannons to do that. And that's why he's not got very much coin.
Yeah. Actually, SoldieR, same going for SoldieR. I guess training artillery is just so...
It's so draining on your eco, yeah.
Obviously, yeah, but...
Let's take a look at his switch.
That is a really good game, I think.
He's got his... he's got 1, 2, 3... He's got... let's take a look at his upgrades as well. He's not got any plantation upgrades just yet, so those gold villages, not very, very strong at all. Needs to get bookkeeping and homesteading in very soon, otherwise... could suffer going into the late game. Cheers, Roche. Cheers, Rocheren. Pardon me. Oh no! 4 cav coming on top of the cults here, and Diarouga's remassed.
Boy, calling Minutemen, but calling the GG. I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably just good for Diarouga at the end of the day because he has more eco and everything, but not exactly GG in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess.
Need treaty players to teach me how to play. Yeah, that's where someone like Lucas, in whose match we'll see again against Tabin after this. Lucas, a very strong treaty player, perhaps the second best treaty player, And he's going in a situation where Diarouga is right now, and you get to this really late game, those guys are going to be exceptional, I think. And I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can make games get to this point, and they'll be, doing everything. They'll be all over the map here. But it looks like SoldieR, it just didn't go well for him this game. That early push with the two caravels, he trained a caravel up on this, trying to push two waters at the same time, but Diarouga was able to get 3 caravels on the bottom when SoldieR only had 2, when he could have had 3, pushed him off the water on both sides in the end, and that push didn't go too well. But SoldieR hung on, and it was actually a really valiant effort. At one point, it looked very, very good for him, but it looks like SoldieR Diarouga did manage to sort of stabilize and push SoldieR back out of his base, and ultimately decides to resign at this point. If we take a look at the all resources gathered, it probably just felt like it was getting harder and harder. You can see this gap is quite large here, and it's only going to get sort of wider over time. I think the reason it hasn't got wider more quickly is because Diarouga had to actually slam down a bunch of plantations and mills sort of in the later portion. But a really, really nice game. I'm not sure it was completely over just yet, but it did look like it was Diarouga favored sort of most of the game with that stronger economy, and he had all the water and all of that kind of thing. But the score now 2-0 to Diarouga here, starting to pull ahead in this series. It is a best of 7, first to 4 victories. So Diarouga, if he picks up one more game, he'll be on match point, and then once you're on match point, it's very tough for your opponents, often it feels like. So Diarouga probably feeling quite good. So let's head on out into the next game and get that underway. But Diarouga off to a really, really nice start.
Yeah, for sure. And also one thing about this, the end of this game is that Diarouga started to stack a few upgrades like eco theory, refrigeration, and the water upgrades. And also he had double carded Jeanettes, so with the range upgrade and the kind of Portuguese calf combat. While SoldieR had really nothing besides Yeoman. He didn't have calf combat in, he didn't have any eco upgrade, so just Yeoman. And I guess at the end of the day, it's just really good for Diarouga to take this kind of trades because he has stronger units and better eco. So, but now we have another water map, and that one is a little bit less about water booming maybe, but more about warships, just because of the ponds and the island. So it might play out a little bit differently, but looks like Diarouga is going for Otto, so maybe not going for the big water boom, but maybe going for the Abus plus boat unit composition, right?
Yeah, Abus guns, very, very strong, right? Very strong against boats because they don't do range damage, they do siege damage, and we all know boats, they resist range damage. So the siege damage just goes right through, straight through their armor, and full damage, and big massive Abus guns can just sink boats in those ponds, so it could be really, really strong to get a mass of them on New England. And Ottoman seems like a really good civ, and with that trade route in the middle as well, that's also really, really strong for the Ottoman player. But SoldieR going to come out in response to with France. That was, a really, really quick pick there. It's not like he took long to think about it, and it's it's actually a different civ to the two he's just played. I know SoldieR really strong with Germany. That's one of the civs he likes to play the most, but here not going to do that. I mean, France obviously a good civ for him too, but I think it looks like he's got something in mind or something planned. Very confident with that France pick. It was very fast.
Yeah, France does quite well against Otto overall, but on New England, I don't know how good of a counter pick it is. Just because of the stagecoach in the middle and the Abus boat thing. I don't exactly know what tools France has to counter that. They don't have really good warships. They don't really have anything especially good for this map, right? So we'll have to see what SoldieR can do with that. It's definitely not a standard pick on New England, I think.
Let's take a look at France. I want to see what their naval options are like. Obviously no schooners or anything like that. But what kind of, they have privateers? They've got 4 privateers. That's in Age 3, like the British do. So that's quite a good card to have available. And that might give you, I think SoldieR not overly comfortable with that water style, right? He likes to play on land. That's what he's much better at, that semi-FF style with the civs that he's good with. Yeah. But 4 privateers, perhaps we'll see, something like that come out when, maybe. Similar to the game you played.
But... they're greening up, by the way. But the thing is that I don't think you can ship 4 privateers. Or is it 3 or 4?
It is 4 privateers. But ladies and gentlemen, we are clicking into game number 3 in this best of 7 series. The score is currently 2-0 to Diarouga. You can see there that he won with China, with Portuguese, and is now going to play the Ottoman. But SoldieR, he is down in points, but he has got all his civilizations still available to him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got in mind with the French here. Perhaps not a civ we'd expect to see on this map, but we did just discuss the possibilities of privateers, which is very, very strong. And
yeah, I don't know if you can ship these in the ponds. I don't know if you have space for them. That's my point.
I mean,
but,
perhaps on the land, like you did.
Go water, so.
Well, we'll take a look in a moment. Looks like a Moss coming down straight away there for Diarouga, and his Explorer going to head on up to the top. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3. The winner of this series will qualify for the LAN at the studio in Manchester in July. And if you're listening, and if you're able to get to Manchester, you are very welcome to come to the studio and watch it live. We have lots of space here, so by all means, keep that in mind. And we'll be putting out some details on nearby accommodation. Hopefully, we'll be able to secure a bulk discount on rooms at a very nearby hotel. And because we're not in a big touristy area, the accommodation's actually not too bad. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in getting in on that discount and things like that, then yes, do keep an eye on eso-community.net, and all of the other channels will be posting about it. But yes, spawning on the top of the map, we do have SoldieR playing as the French, and we'll see what he has in mind as the game progresses here. But both players going for an early trading post here, and no one found any sheep just yet.
Yeah, they just rushed the TP line, and I don't exactly know what SoldieR is scouting. Yeah, he could have gone for the sheep maybe. But anyway, it's pretty good for France to have
this is going to pay off. Look, he's going to pick up the 2 sheep. I think SoldieR just being really aggressive with his scout, wanting to steal sheep, and then obviously can go back for his own on his side of the map sort of later on, and paying off here. Really, really nice. And finds his opponent's Explorer going for 80 XP there. Looks like Red will get the treasure, but not before Blue gets into melee combat here and can snare. The scout is also nearby to punch 5 damage as well. So SoldieR off to a really, really nice start. Didn't steal the treasure, but I don't think he'll mind. He got the sheep, and this snare here is going to be really, really good. Okay. Well, let's switch on over to something else, and I'll fix the Discord. Yep. We won't be long, just fixing that now. And we'll call Kaiser back and see if it works. But yeah, just to keep you updated on the game. Hello. Yeah, that's worked.
Okay, hello.
Well, not sure.
I have no idea what happened, but
yeah, that was really weird. The Discord has gone down on my other screen. I've got communication with the casting booth. If it goes down and continues to be an issue, we do have a TeamSpeak server, and I'll send you the link for that. So we can continue. But Diarouga, he's not gotten as nearly as many sheep here. SoldieR off to an exceptional start, stealing those 2 sheep earlier. Were they stolen back, though? I think they may have been... Yeah, they were stolen back by the looks of it, and just parked outside this trading post for safety. But yeah. SoldieR did get the other 2 sheep, so he's gotten 2 more from Diarouga's side, and his 4 sheep are still all on sort of his side there. Oh no, the scout...
Yeah, SoldieR trying his best to go in cover mode and escape, but not gonna work. And losing that scout is just always really annoying because it's so good, this native scout. But he might just when
did you get a tomahawk? Oh wow! Yeah. When did that happen?
Oh no, I thought he picked that one up. He crackshot that on his way to the TP, but still didn't take it.
This is insane.
The TP will go up because Diarouga is going to age up and get extra HP just in a few seconds. But the Explorer will die, and he will prevent Diarouga from getting any other TPs. Oh, I thought he would just die just before, but yeah.
does keep it alive and gets that extra 100 HP in for aging up to the next stage. Does get the TP up, but is going to lose his Explorer here. Looks like Ottoman aging with an outpost. What do you think of this? Why is he coming so far forward? There are 2 units basically here. I mean, obviously the wagon won't die, but the Foundation's going to take a ton of damage.
Yeah, and I feel like SoldieR could have maybe tried to kill that Ville, actually, because I don't know. Well, anyway, yeah, it's going to take lots of damage from the siege of these 2 units. But he does want to get the control of this pawn, and so it's going to be a tower FF. Diarouga's got 300 coin stacked. He's shipping 700 coin. Going to be aging really early, probably using the pawn with 2 falconets and some warships and stuff. So not going for the Abers gameplay, or maybe he will in H3, but not just yet, at least. It's interesting for sure.
Tower gets
and
half
we'll have to
hit
see
points.
how SoldieR reacts.
I think, though, Diarouga just wants the outpost there. This position is so key, and he doesn't mind taking damage to get to it, right? Like, this outpost covers the pond, and any boats spawned in here are going to be covered by his outpost here, which is really, really nice, and I guess he just has to suck it up and repair it later on, but such is the way of things. But yes, Diarouga going for very fast, very aggressive FF here, going to be going up to the Fortress Age with 700 coin, and now the wood shipment following up there to get the foundations down for his barracks and stable or artillery foundry. Probably not a stable in houses, of course, as well, and is going up with the Admiral of the Oceans Sea, and we can see that the flag has been moved into the pond, so we will see a caravel spawning in the center there. He's now repairing the outpost with the 700 wood that he shipped, but SoldieR playing as the French here. He's got 4 villagers down, and we're waiting on his next shipment, which should arrive sort of any moment now, and we'll see what he sort of decides to be doing. But currently training pikes, and this could be a nice reaction to the half HP outpost, but he's going to get there and discover that it's been fully repaired.
Yeah. Then he might have wanted to keep his Explorer, because his Explorer had so much HP. You can just go in and siege like once the tower and then go back again and keep doing that just to make sure the outpost isn't repaired. But yeah, I mean, investing into pikes just to get the outpost down. The thing is that Diarouga is going to be up, and even if he loses the outpost, maybe it's going to disturb his water plan, like the plan he had in the pond, but maybe he's just going to play it standard then, just go Jan Falconet and right-click your opponent, and he's got pikes, and what is he going to do about it?
Yeah,
so,
but I think he's
already 5 Jans out.
5 Jans coming out, but he's got 5 musketeers to follow this up. Now the outpost is down, the pikes can just start sieging the trading post, and even if the caravel spawns, these pikes can just move to the other side of the TP, and they'll be able to take down the trading post here. So, repaired or not, going to be quite strong, but the Explorer getting involved, and also 5 Jans just being better and having more HP and are more expensive than Musks, they're going to sort of win that fight and push SoldieR back for the time being, and the galley comes in, sorry, not a caravel, and that's going to get a broadside on these units here. On the pikes, focusing them down, going to, not great, and taking a shot as he sort of retreats back as well. Let's switch on over to units in queue. SoldieR is intending to go up to Fortress Age, but those pikes being trained and those musketeers as well have slowed him down quite a lot, and he's not really done any lasting damage. He killed the outpost, but probably, not enough.
No, it's not enough, and if anything, it's just hurting him more than Otto. And now, how do you deal with a galley and 2 falconets when you're H2? You just can't. So you have to age yourself, but you can't get like this slow age with 1 caravel, right? Because it's just too slow against Otto. You have to age up fast. If France even has that option, I'm not sure. And so now, how is SoldieR going to deal with the galley plus 2 falcons? Because if he gets 2 falcons himself, then he's not going to be able to deal with the galley. So he has maybe to ship a frigate. So you know what I mean? Like, he has to invest a shipment for that pawn, while Diarouga could just use his age up to get the control of it. And now killing a CDB with the galley gonna be just very annoying for SoldieR. I don't know what he's gonna do. And he's got this little army left from Colonial, which is just essentially useless now. Like, these few pikes and musks are not gonna do anything. So looking already really tough for SoldieR, to be honest.
Yeah.
And when Diarouga can decide to ship 1k wood and get the full stagecoach, it's going to be even worse for SoldieR.
8 Janissaries coming in, 2 Falconets coming in, 2 very strong shipments that complement each other quite well for the Ottomans. Here is going to approach, and this food going to be denied there. Villager tanking 2 cannonballs to the stomach. He is a CDB though, so has lots of health. But you're right. How do you handle it? It's very, very difficult. I think SoldieR perhaps lost a bit of confidence in the previous 2 games and thought, and maybe just sort of losing it a little bit. But 2 falconets of his own do arrive, and he's got, he's got that colonial army. You said it's not overly helpful, but at least it will be something to defend the falconets here. And if he can win the Falk War, then he might be in a solid spot. But Diarouga getting back here, lots of Jans. 1,000 wood has come down, and with that, looks like because it's not a shipment, is going to stay passive sort of a bit longer. It might be hard to there is not going to be a Falk War for the time being.
Oh, we didn't check the hunts, but I don't think it was. I think it's just normal. But I did forget to check the hunts. But I think it's just New England. Like, it's 10 minutes, and 1 hunt is denied by the galley, so that's all. But one thing I want to talk about is the fact that 2 falconets one-shoot a galley. So Diarouga does have still to be careful about that, because each falconet does 300 damage to the galley, and it could die instantly. So.
Yeah, if it's not very careful, is creeping forward with those falcons there. Perhaps he's intending to get a sneak shot on the galley, as you would say. Is coming in now. Looks like they're getting in. Whoa, what was that? But he does spot it. Is going to come in. Yes, and does take down the galley there.
Yeah, that's a good start for SoldieR. He needs more than that, though, because now Otto is ahead in eco. He's got the full stagecoach, and he's dropping a 2nd TC. So France has to push rather soon. Maybe he can ship a frigate in the pond and deny the TP line that way. But then again, Diarouga can also get 3 galleys and a frigate. He has 1 more water shipment, so it's going to be tough. But we'll see what SoldieR can do.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Diarouga just being very passive. As you mentioned, 2nd town centre coming down. For Ottoman, that's, 3 villages and full stagecoach line as well. So setting up for the long game, quite a solid economy. But this eco graph looks very in favour of France, but that's because, well, Ottoman, their village is trained for free, remember. That's basically like you're not using up food, which is really strong. Yeah. Is pushing out now. Here he comes. 2 cannons going to fight these trading posts. He's got a reasonable mass of skirms, but no shipment.
Skirms.
Yeah, are they going to come in? They does focus them down, though.
I don't know why he sent them forward alone. You kind of need to bring them at the same time as your 2 falconets just to help you swing the fight. But anyway, he lost lots of Abers and Jans, but now he's got 2 falls to 1. So SoldieR is going to have to go back, even though Diarouga took a pretty bad trade.
Yeah.
And he's just rackboxing all his army with the falconet, moving really slowly. But now he realized that.
The water spawn point has moved, so the frigate will be coming very soon. Let's take a look at the deck there. No privateers in the deck, but the frigate at least is for free. And remember, if the caravels, if the falconets are next to the pond, and when the frigate pops, they can get a broadside off, which can instantly kill a falconet. So that flag could be really, really strong if the boat arrives. Is now coming around this side. He's back on his hunts, though. He's got food still.
Oh, both frigates popping right at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. 1241 for both players. That's insane. But there's only 1 falconet for SoldieR, but it's a little bit closer and might help in the fight. But Diarouga is going to bring his own falconets and probably snipe the SoldieR's falconet. No? Just... what's going on?
He hasn't seen it there. It does see it. He gets 1 free shot, though. But it is going to be enough to swing the fight. His frigate is going to live.
Oh, that's insane. So now SoldieR's frigate is alive and
trading off the goons. Oh no!
But the
goons from behind!
What?
Oh no, SoldieR! Yeah, I guess they were in the same control group and just went there. Oh, that's not ideal. And where's his frigate gone? The frigate died? Oh no!
So the only good thing going for SoldieR there was the fact that he was left with a frigate, but obviously the Ebuskans just one-shot this low HP frigate, and we're left with Otto still kind of ahead in eco with more map control, and just more units. So, and next, I guess we're gonna see like Jan combat or something like that.
And without Falx, having
really
to deal with the enemy Falx, that's going to be really, really tough. And just, this is not ideal. Falx creeping forward, yeah, pulling in the Vils now. He just has to. Sending them towards the Falx, he wants to Vil punch them down. But looks like the Jan's turning around to focus them. I suppose that's okay, since the military unit's not taking any damage here.
Yeah, but
coming in from the side.
Much over. At this point, I think it's just over.
Yeah.
Otto has officially now more villages than friends, so that's one thing to consider, and he's still really ahead in military. So, and a third town center going up for Diarouga as well. So what do you do here as friends, besides resigning? I don't really know. He's also got like no resources left. I mean, he's got gold but no hunts, so...
And they're going to call GG there. Diarouga picking up his third victory in this series. A really, really strong showing from him there. The first two games very close, but Diarouga, very, very nice performance in this third match.
Yeah, that was quite one-sided. Then again, to be fair, I don't see France beating Otto on this particular map. But yeah, definitely well played from Diarouga. He didn't overcommit or something. He just like pressured enough early on and took map control and with the help of Abus guns and falconets and galleys and whatever in the pond, just able to win it.
Yep, and that is the story of that game. It is now match point. Diarouga up 3 points to 0. And if he takes the next victory, he qualifies for the LAN. And we will be seeing him here in the UK, in Manchester, in July. Again, anyone listening, you're very welcome to attend. We have plenty of room. More info on that to come soon. But there's lots of space in the studio. SoldieR, he's got his work cut out now. 4 victories needed in a row. Otherwise, he cannot qualify in this particular match. And if he loses, he drops down to the lower bracket, which there is still a chance to qualify, but it's going to be a tough road down there as well. This is a big game, and SoldieR not performing today. Diarouga 3 points up to 0. Let's head on out into the next game and take a look at the civilization picks. But what SoldieR does have going for him now is every single civilization is still available to him, and Diarouga can no longer play China, he can no longer play Ottoman, and he can no longer play the Portuguese. So SoldieR...
Yeah, but he can play Spain, and he does pick Spain, and we all know how good Spain is with ATP on high plains, so I wonder what SoldieR is going to answer to that. I guess he could still pick Germany or France, because they do pretty well against Spain, but we'll see.
Yeah, Spain coming out, always a solid pick on the high plains here. But SoldieR does get the counter pick. The Sioux, we've seen this matchup a few times.
Ah. Yeah, I like it for Sioux. By the way, is my voice fine, or am I lagging a bit? Because I hear you sometimes lag a little bit.
Oh, you sound fine on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, no issues.
Okay, that's good then.
I just want to remind everybody listening on YouTube, on my channel, that we are actually streaming this live on Twitch at Escape TV. Twitch.tv/Escape AoE. There'll be a link in the chat there. This is not, and in the description as well, we're not usually going to be streaming to YouTube. This is sort of a one-off thing. So if you want to follow me and what I'm up to live, I stream full-time now on Escape AoE. So do check us out over there. But we are clicking into game number 4 in a best-of-7 series between SoldieR and Diarouga. The score is 3-0. Diarouga up 3 points to 0. SoldieR's got his work cut out for him now to win this series. But let's see if he can take a game or maybe 2 off Diarouga. I think most people have their money on Diarouga here. He's a very strong player, and we expect to see him at the LAN. But SoldieR also very, very strong. But today, Diarouga besting him in this series thus far. Let's start with SoldieR. Here he is in the south of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Sioux. It is a 100 wood start there. And SoldieR, I think if there were a game he could win, I think this could be the one. I really like SoldieR as the Sioux, and for some reason I really, really like this sort of matchup. We've seen Sioux and Spain play a number of times on different show matches on this map, and indeed the tournament as well. And it always seems like, Sioux in a very solid position on the ESOC patch at the moment, a very strong civilization. Here's Diarouga in the north of the map, in the color red. Also 100 with start, of course, is mirrored, so not going to be getting a trading post or anything like that, but does find 70 XP, which is going to get him all the way up to nearly his first shipment right away. That's a really nice treasure to find straight away. And also 130 food. That's a solid treasure for Diarouga, and not going to be contested. SoldieR on the other side of the map there, going to be picking up a nearly mature coyote puppy. But despite the speed, and I suppose Spain doesn't really know where that explorer is, where that war chief, if he's still going to go for this anyway, just try and quickly get it. He's got his war dog and is going to pick up 130 food. An exceptional start for Diarouga in a really, really nice spot.
And so Diarouga left his 100 extra wood on the floor, so he's probably going to be going ATP, not going to make trading post in H1. But I just kind of don't know why SoldieR would waste time like converting a coyote and to get another coyote. I mean, they're just really weak, right? And I feel like he could have just converted that, even if he doesn't care about the treasure. Like that Renegado is way, way, way stronger than both of these coyotes he's got from the other treasure. So, and it's really important because if you get the Renegado and you snare with the Sioux Explorer and you micro it well, then your opponent can't ever kill the Renegado, and then you can totally deny ATP. So that would have been just huge. Or even here, like he could even get 95 wood and a Renegado, and it looks like he's gonna go for that. He does have to quickly do something, like quickly deny the TP line, because one reason why this matchup is good for Sioux, in my opinion, is because they can deny the ATP just with the pets. And he's letting his coyote die to the Renegado.
Yeah, not ideal.
You see that Renegado guy, 40 attack, just insane.
Yeah, and 162 hit points as well. That's really, really good. An 18 range, if used properly. Spain is going to have a hard time killing that. Every time he tries to crack shot it, the Treasure Guardian can run away if he sees that animation being telegraphed. And with all that range, it's just, super good unit, right? But Spain's sort of waiting now at the trading post here for ATP to come in, perhaps. He's now got his age up in Q. We'll be going up with the governor, and we expect ATP to come in any moment now. There it is, and as it comes in, drops down the trading post. But here, the Renegado and the Explorer do find it there, and he may well deny it. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, he just crackshot the coyote. I don't know why, because he saw that SoldieR picked up 95 wood, so he should know there's a Renegado, and he just used his crackshot for the coyote, and now the TP is going to be denied. He's going to get it up with his will, but obviously
the war dog has
just really weak.
Is that can it escape? Yeah, the war dog's been snared, and the outlaw will survive. Really, really nice from SoldieR there.
There's nothing stronger in H1 than this, like the Renegado and the Sioux Explorer. There's nothing matching this, and now what do you do? Even that Vil could get killed by the Renegado. There's a multiplier, but if you just build an ATP which takes about like forever, then you might just lose your Vil if SoldieR would just do that. Oh, the Explorer is back up though, so SoldieR has to maybe keep denying the Explorer here, because if he lets Diarouga keep making TPs, then it's gonna be tough. And SoldieR also wants to steal TPs himself, right? Just to make sure he can get some control on the TP line. And so far, he hasn't built any trading posts. He's just built the other kind of TPs, and that is not as good as trading posts when it comes to just annoying Spain. So, but he's gonna take one now upon age up with a 400 wood.
Yeah, it's
at
about
least one, maybe two.
It's about to hit up to the next stage there. With his Explorer, went to get this native scout and converted the Outlaw Pistolero. Not quite as good as the Renegado. In fact, it's the same. The only difference is less range.
Yeah.
But did manage to pick that up. Another very strong Guardian. But despite the strong Guardians, did manage to kill the Explorer. But the Villager came and finished it off, right? And upon age up, he got 100 HP. The Explorer stood up. And Diarouga, as Spain, has got 3 TPs out. It won't be for free, though. And there is a trading post on the route from Blue as well, as you mentioned. So Stagecoach going to be contested in sort of that way. But Diarouga, look at that. Spain already 2 shipments ahead. Their bonus coming in strong at the moment. I suppose SoldieR has only just clicked up, so we'll see his first shipment very, very soon. But Corral now coming down from SoldieR. Going to start with cavalry.
Yeah, just going for standard Sioux stuff. I just hope he keeps an eye on the last trading post, because really every single TP you can deny from someone sending ATP, which is like a shipment you invest only for trading posts, is just really valuable. And now 700 wood coming in, and Diarouga is going to be aging and trying to slam down the last TP on this line. And SoldieR is apparently not trying to deny it, and that's, in my opinion, a mistake, because he really could. He might find it, but it's going to be too late, I think.
Yeah, he's going to find it, but he can't get there in time, right? Like, he wasn't sort of guarding the socket, because the Explorer can build it quite quickly, and the unit's just not going to get there in time to stop the construction. And now that it's up, it's got, with ATP, a 25% ranged attack, and it's so many hit points. It's going to be very, very hard to kill. So your best bet is to stop them going up in the first place. And as the Sioux, you can do that. He had 2 outlaw riflemen and a pistolero was the other, which would be very strong. But SoldieR not doing that. But what he is doing is, 5 villagers coming in, 700 coin to start with, is going to go straight up to the Fortress Age and play there. But Spain in a strong spot with 4 trading posts.
Yeah, and he didn't train any cav because he's going for a naked FF with 700 gold first. So I just would like to question, why did he not take 2 TPs instead of building a stable, since he's not using his stable? That would annoy Spain so much if there were 2 TPs on this map. But yeah, anyway, Diarouga has pretty much the control of the line. At this point, he can even stagecoach, even if SoldieR has 1 TP. Now we have to see what SoldieR can do in early fortress, because the Sioux units are really strong, and Sioux is quite fast in early fortress, so it's not over for sure. Just quite a good start for Diarouga here, but we'll see what SoldieR can pull here.
Yeah, Sioux not having to build any houses with 200 pop. Yeah, that early fortress going to be really, really strong, and just good shipments. Musketeers, though, coming out for Spain that he's trained during transition, and going to come and siege down this trading post as well. And it looks like he's aged up with 8 pikemen as well, went up with the, I forget who gives you that, but 8 pikemen, and some Rodelleros being shipped in transition. 6 Rodelleros there, which is interesting, because there is a 7 Rodellero shipment. Yeah, but he sent the 6, so he's clicked the wrong...
7-1.
He's clicked the wrong one.
But no, wait.
Oh, no, it's just the UI. That is the 7. It just doesn't show on the UI, because this is for... Yeah, I understood. Okay, so that's fine. But 7 Rodelleros, yeah, this is a big Spain army, and it looks like, with all these early sort of... he's trained even more musketeers there, and shipping lots of anti-cav. He's going to go for early falconets. It's... but if they spawn... If they spawn over here near the outpost or the tower... Okay, they're not going to spawn.
I mean... I don't know, like, Rifle Riders are just so good against everything here besides the 3 skirmishers. So even if the Spanish army is way bigger, just 5 Rifle Riders alone can kind of take on that whole army, especially along with the Rifle Riders. So I hope SoldieR is going to try to catch, like to get a good catch with his Rifle Riders. And he's going in now, and you're going to see how quickly they just melt through the heavy infantry. And even Falconets would not be too useful here. Diarouga actually going for 1k wood and calling Minutemen because he knows how strong the Rifle Riders is. But SoldieR is pulling back. I don't know. SoldieR has to do something really soon. He has to really be aggressive here, because 5 TPs for Spain is no joke. You have to do something about it, because next Diarouga is going to get stagecoach from 1k wood. He's adding a 2nd Rax, and he's going to have a huge Rodero skirmisher spam.
Yeah. And that's going to be very frightening to deal with. And there's some Rodelleros being shipped as well. 9 rods coming in. And with that 1,000 wood, can get the veteran upgrade on them as well. And can finish off his upgrades. Could get steel traps and placer mines. Spain going to be a force to be reckoned with. So your options are attack the trading posts, which have so much HP. Or just keep the pressure up on your opponent in their base. And that's almost the better option, just because the TPs, they're so tanky. And with that attack as well, will just buy so much time for Spain.
Yeah, so he's probably just gonna contain because Spain is running out of hunts soon, and SoldieR did a good job at like keeping line of sight over here and just making sure Spain doesn't grab some hunts. Then imagine Spain would take the Cheyenne native settlement and get the bisons because he has ATP. That would be interesting, but
yeah,
if he doesn't do that, he's gonna have to push out for hunts quite soon. And I think the Sioux army wins this, to be honest.
Yeah, he didn't ship falconets just yet. He sent 8 Rodelleros there, which I believe is actually 9, and sending 7 Rodelleros as well, which is actually 8. The UI just doesn't display that properly. No falconets just yet, just massing up in infantry. No intention of shipping falconets. What do you make of that? Just training all the Rodelleros.
To be fair, there's like 12 rifle riders, and these guys have a huge multiplayer against falconets, so that's probably why. He just feels like it's probably not safe to go for falcons. Then again, he's got so much infantry that he could probably ship falconets, because if Sioux tries to snipe them, you're gonna send your Rodelleros on top of the rifle riders and all, so it might be... Yeah, I think he will ship falconets, but he's just waiting to have a little bit more infantry to maybe cover them, because, there's a lot of rifle riders.
Yeah, wants a big mass of rods, and has got that now, and can be absolutely certain that his falc shipment will be safe. Looks like those soldiers sort of just given up on pressuring in the base there. A couple of Wakina here, grouped with the native scout, moving very slowly, but now can get away. And oh no, is he? Yeah, is deciding to go for this trading post. Does take one down. Perhaps he can build that himself. His war chief, very, very nearby. Here he is.
I hope he does, but then again, he's also really close to Diarouga's base and might not be able to take it. He could maybe siege dense the trading post a bit. I think it would be worth it because each of these TPs are 4 villagers. So. But yeah, there's just a big army for Spain, and Falconet's now in, and he's gonna get huge volleys now. And this is looking kind of over. Look at the scores as well. I mean, I don't know what you do here as SoldieR. He just was a little bit too passive with the TP line earlier, and he got punished. Trying to snipe the Falconets from 2 angles, maybe. I guess if he can get them down without losing too many units, might be
1 down.
Might be okay.
2 down.
Yeah, but he, losing how many rifle riders here, just like
good trade.
Each rifle rider is so expensive.
So he did trade off the Falconets, but did pay for it there. So I don't think Diarouga going to be sort of too upset. And now the rods up in the face here. Those skirms toast. They aren't getting away. But the rifle riders, they are able to take these down quickly. And on the other side is getting a raid in there.
Yeah, he just needs something to deal with the skirmishers, because with the rifle riders, he can deal with the rods, but he needs some kind of hand cav to bait the Roderos forward and then snipe them, because he can't challenge his skirmisher mass with Wakinas. He's down to 10 Wakinas. There's no way he's ever going to catch up in the skirmisher count. He's got 1k food though, so no, wait, never mind, he spent it already. I thought he might go for the Dog SoldieR big button soon, but never mind.
Yeah, that's one way to get cav. Being
Yeah.
forced off the food here. 3 dog soldiers coming out as a shipment, and being pushed across the map here by Spain. I mean, his eco is 10 vils up, but given that these are each 4, that's 16 vils just off a trading post there. Spain really is ahead, and Spain, they don't have steel traps in, so actually the same market upgrades. So maybe this is very similar military unit masses here, and we're getting close to that dog soldier big button timing.
Yeah.
Soldier just needs to find the food to actually send it, and that could be really, really strong.
Yeah, I can see SoldieR actually winning this game by getting Cav combat and 6 dogs and just cleaning up, because dogs do okay against rods. They do have a multiplier even against rods, and then rifle riders behind as well would just be really strong for SoldieR. Yeah, so he has to just hold down for a couple, like for 1 minute 30, just make sure he can macro, maybe switch his fills a bit to food, because he's got all wheels on coin, and just get a big button. And he can't do that though. No, that's so sad. That is probably GG. He's losing so many.
Big snare.
Like, lost already 4 rifle riders, 5 now. for nothing.
Yeah, that getting caught by the melee units there slowed them down, and the skirms are able to get quite a lot of volleys. And these are, such expensive sort of low HP units in the sense that they are basically countered by everything because they counter everything. Lots of them going down to the skirmishes.
And Diarouga is forcing a fight just before the big button timing, probably because he knows about it, and he's trying to do some damage at least before the big Sioux timing. But SoldieR is really not macroed for the big button, so sadly he might not be going for it, and he also doesn't have Cav combat in yet. I think he needs to stop fighting, just go back, get your big button, and then fight. Yeah. But he can't just fight
so many of them going down, and 5 axe riders coming in as well. Just the rifle riders. Not the best range, and they keep getting very close to the skirmishes and being in awkward positions and taking a ton of damage here. But the rods now coming forward here. They sense an opportunity. Those dog soldiers going down very, very quickly. The axe riders coming around the side there, and not in the fight just yet, which is very, very awkward. The rifle riders being focused down by the skirmishers, trying to keep them back there. Wakina now on the front, taking a lot of damage from the rods, and the skirms behind that as well. More Wakina do pop out, but all the rifle riders basically have gone down. But having said that, SoldieR, he's sort of come out ahead. No, perhaps not.
What about the eco? What? How is Diarouga on 23 builds? I think we missed something there.
We missed a big raid.
What the hell? I don't know when that happened, but that's a big raid. So I guess if he can still get the big button, he might still be fine at some point, because he's just so ahead in eco now. Well, not super ahead because of the GP line, but
how did we completely missed something? There must have been a raid.
I don't understand.
Obviously, we can't see any dead vills because they don't last for very long on the floor. But yeah, that's
12 dead vills for Diarouga.
So SoldieR's still in this. If he can just just sit tight. I mean, like Spain's XP curve has to be coming to an end soon. It's going to be very stretched, and that's good for him. Like, it's basically the pressure will slow down, but there's still a ton. Look, he's basically double the units here, and big raid.
That is gonna even up the gap, and he's now shipped Cav combat, but he's got no Cav. Like, yeah, sure, it's gonna work on the Dog SoldieR big button, but Cav combat is just so much weaker now than it would have been a minute ago. Instead of these 5 colonial axe riders, he decided to ship. Also, still no fire pit, no war dance, nothing. I really feel like SoldieR could win this game. I don't want to say easily, but rather easily. Like, he already had the tools to win it. He just needed the fire pit, the Cav combat, the dogs, and then I think he would just win the fight directly. But
he is saving for the big button now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of rods.
Kind of too late. I don't know.
Yeah, it does feel like it's a bit late, and these vills being chased down to the very end there, which is definitely going to even up that economic score a bit.
But at least Diarouga doesn't have any more unit shipments, I believe. Or maybe he's got like 12 pikes in deck. Yeah, 5 Haas, yeah. So that's not super good for Spain. But I guess there's going to be one last chance for Sioux to make it happen. He is going to have a better unit composition, right? Like, Skirmisher Dog is going to really beat Skirmisher Rod. Just because the Rods are going to get sniped and then the Dogs are going to kill pretty much everything. But if he doesn't win this fight really hard, SoldieR probably lost the game.
And the dog soldiers are now coming in. He's going for the 18-minute timing, which gives him an extra dog soldier compared to the 15-minute timing. And he's got Cav combat in, like you were saying. So these dog soldiers, 770 HP, 39 attack here. And he's going to find himself on top of the skirmishers there. But the rods, they are nearby. But they are kind of a bit getting stuck, forcing the dog soldiers away. He just needs to focus down the rods now with his own Wakina. But Lancers and Hussars coming around on the side, and they do find themselves on the Wakina. SoldieR saying GG in the chat there, and the resignation coming out.
Still no fire pit, sadly. That's I don't know why Diarouga says it was unlucky, to be honest. I think SoldieR could really win that. Well, yeah, the age one was really good for Diarouga, but still, I think SoldieR could win that. But it's a convincing performance from Diarouga anyway, winning 4-0.
Yeah, Diarouga doing very, very well, and a very dominant, very strong showing there from him. Let's see if we can get him on for a chat And he's now qualified for the LAN, so we'd like to speak to him, see how he feels, that kind of thing. But SoldieR, such a strong performance throughout this tournament, but sort of falling apart here in this final game here. Just 4-0, being knocked into the lower bracket, and now he's going to have to... He could still qualify, but he's going to have to go through either Tabin or Lucas, one of those players, I believe. No, that's not right. I think he has to go through Hazard, actually. Who also has to go through Tabin or Lucas. So yes, he has to go. It's just a really tough road, and that'll be in the brackets. But let's see if Diarouga will come on for a chat. Let's speak to him now. I'm just going to add him straight into here, I suppose.
All right.
We'll see if he picks up. I don't even know if he has a microphone, which could be awkward. He might not be able to chat.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We should maybe type to him first. Did you type to him something?
No, I didn't, but...
I can do that.
Okay. Is he on ESO?
Yeah, I'm PMing him right now.
Okay, so looks like he didn't join in on the Discord group, but looks like Kaiser going to be talking to him on ESO. We'll see if we can get him here, but congratulations to Diarouga. 4-0 is a really solid performance. I think he'll be very, very pleased with that. Qualifying 4-0 just makes you look like a very, very formidable opponent, and he will be one to look out for when the LAN starts.
Yeah, okay, Diarouga is up for an interview, yeah.
Oh, nice. All right, then.
So I'm telling him to answer to the call in the Discord group, and we'll see if he can join soon. And but yeah, he did win like 4-0 really convincingly. There were some pretty close games. Most of the games were really close actually, unless except the third game, I believe. But every other game was quite close, and I think SoldieR didn't need much more to win, but he missed that, the cherry on top of the cake, maybe, to just beat Diarouga. Like Diarouga had just the edge in every game, so.
Yeah, it just looked like he was, on form.
Yeah.
Looking very good. So Diarouga, just to clarify, everyone will be coming on for a chat. We'll see what he has in mind and what he's been thinking. I think he's here now. But coming up next after this, we do have Lucas versus Tabin, which is going to be another very strong showing.
His Discord is bugging. It looks like there's problems with Discord, just like we had earlier, So, I don't know.
Hold on, I've got a better idea. It works now. Okay, well...
Okay.
Oh, here he is.
Hi.
Right. Hi, I've never heard you speak before, so this will be fun. Welcome, Diarouga, and congratulations. You are now qualified. We'll fly you out to the UK, to Manchester to compete at the studio. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm happy, of course, because honestly, I didn't think that I could perform that well these days. I used to be really strong in 2015, but now I had a lot of hard time in previous tournaments against ASAMC in the TWC in show matches.
Yeah.
So,
and you had a hard time against...
think,
against ASAMC this tournament as well. That was also a very close series. I think the previous match to this one, it was a sort of 3-2. You did end up beating him in the end, of course, to finally be here. But it does look like. Have you been playing as much recently? Do you think you're as practiced? I know SoldieR's been playing a lot. Have you?
Well, I haven't been really playing a lot these days. But I don't know. I don't think it matters that much. I feel like I'm just kind of predictable now, and people like ASAMC or Kaiser in the Monosif Cup could just abuse that. Kind of hard for me now.
But you did very well today, so that's pretty good to see.
Yeah, honestly, I had some lucky games. Like the first game, I feel like he kind of threw it. He had the win. If he pushed it harder, he would have won. But that was unlucky for him. And then in the water game, in the Baja one, I think he could also win it if he played correctly.
Well, you were
I think
quite
I was
ahead
lucky.
in that Baja game, though. I mean, he had a window to push you, but every trade was good for you just because you had more upgrades on your eco and more upgrades on your units and stuff. So I think he had a window to maybe push you, but eventually you were probably going to win this game. But in the last game, the Sioux one, I think SoldieR had a shot, but he didn't dance for war. He didn't get the big button along with the rest of his army. Didn't get calf combat at the right time, and I feel like he had really a shot at beating you, and maybe also let you take control of the TP line a little bit too easily.
I think this curious game for me was the first one. To be honest, at one point I was about to resign, like just after I lost all my army at his third gold mine, I think. I was just about to resign, and then I saw that I had 1k coin on the way and a lot of resources. So I kept playing, and I don't really know how I managed to win this.
You kind of missed my
scary.
Go ahead.
Scary. The second game was also really scary. Like at one point, he managed to kill all my army and idle like 30 vills. That was really scary. At one point, I thought I would lose this game.
Yeah, there was a couple of really close moments in both those games. Like particularly, let's go back to that first game, China versus Germany. I think you mentioned it. You lost all your army. I think all your arquebusiers. You sort of ran out of cav and things like that. You were pushing forward through the middle of the map and then into sort of his base. And it looked like you were, you had a really solid fight and you were doing very well. But then you sort of ran out of anti-cav and cavalry in general, and a big batch of sort of Uhlans and a few more skirmishers rocked up. Was that the moment you mentioned when you almost resigned?
Yeah. I was about to resign, and I was also kind of mad because I feel like I played the early game better than him. I defended all his raids really well. He didn't micro his war wagons really well, so I took a great fight, and still I got crushed. So I was
To be fair, he did kind of counter-build you because he scouted the consulate. He was actually going forward with a set of wagon to rush you with doppels, I think. And when he saw the consulate, he went for naked FF, which was, I guess, giving him an advantage because then you edged up a little bit late. But you controlled your units better, but he maybe kind of counter-build you.
Actually, I saw that he built a stable in base, so I thought he was going for some kind of Yolan semi-FF, but if he went for FF, that makes sense.
Yeah, there was actually a point in that game where SoldieR had a forward settler wagon, and it looked like he was poised to build a barracks, possibly a stable, really far forward and do something colonial against you. But I think he scouted your consulate and thought better of it. Didn't really want to have
it would have failed for sure. Like the musketeers are so strong.
Did you see that at all, or did you?
No, I didn't. I just saw the stable in base.
Yeah,
and I was pretty happy about this.
So, was there any particular reason you went with consulate first? Just for safety?
I got 90 wood treasure. So, usually I just send 9 pikes in this matchup to hold, and I felt like since I had that wood, it made sense to go for the consulate.
Nice. Okay, makes sense. And, it stopped SoldieR from doing what he planned to do, and the Musks you were able to defend really well against the raids. But let's switch to the Civ selection screen, because that next match was on Baja, California. It was Portugal versus British, and you must have been feeling really, really good when basically you both shipped 2 caravels at the same time. And I think you had your caravels coming just as his arrived, and I think then SoldieR decided he wanted to push the water on both sides and train the caravel.
He lost on both sides.
Yeah, because he had that extra. He had 3 caravels, exactly like you did, but all your 3 were in the same ocean, and his 3 were split. And you won that caravel fight so convincingly. How were you feeling at that point?
I was feeling great. To be honest, I thought it was over at this point because I had full control of the sea, and it's not like he had something planned on the land. He was nowhere near aging, and he didn't have a TP line. So I felt it was over, but somehow he managed to come back and me.
Yeah, it was really impressive showing actually from SoldieR. At one point he had like 3 mortars, 3 rockets, some falconets and culverins, and your army was sort of like on the other side, and you had to delete some walls to just get over there quickly and defend against it. But he was really pushing you hard, and your factory was in range of his artillery. Thankfully for you, he didn't actually end up killing it, but it looked like, despite such a good start for you and being on the ocean, that he was really pushing in. But what was going through your mind with all of this artillery just standing on top of your base and soldiers gaining ground and more ground, and you did eventually destroy these units and push him back and seal up the walls again, but that must have been really frightening.
At first I was overconfident because I practiced a bit that matchup, and I knew that I could win even in bad scenarios, and this was I'd say the greatest start I could have hoped for. So I was really confident and actually overconfident. So I felt it was game over, and then I wasted all my units, and I almost lost this game because of this.
Yeah, and it felt like, when he resigned, were you expecting the resignation there? Because that game, I think you were winning. You had more economy, and you seemed like in a stronger position, but the resignation came from SoldieR.
He resigned, actually, as you said, really early. I feel like he could have fought a bit more. And, I don't think he would have won, but it would have been annoying for me.
Yeah, he was making a lot of ground. He was really forcing you to, you weren't like winning for free or anything like that. It did seem like an early resignation. He still had a few thousand resources, and he was set up with all his plantations and mills, and everything was fine for him. It didn't look like, I think he just, was frustrated. He couldn't make any more ground, and you pushed back his push and maybe felt like he couldn't get any more ground. But let's switch back to the Civ selection screen. The next match was New England, and you played Ottoman versus France. That seemed like an unusual pick for SoldieR, playing the French there. Just, did you think he had something planned in mind with the France? What were you thinking? Because that ended up being a really solid game for you.
When I saw he picked France, I was like, well, it's just game over because there's nothing he can do. I'm going to get the TP line, I'm going to BH3, I'm going to ship the frigate, the Falks, and it's just going to go my way. I don't know why he took France. That didn't really make sense.
Yeah, I agree. There's no real reason to pick France on this map, and France does okay against, or does actually pretty good against Otto overall, but on New England, I just don't understand why you would be France when you could instead be like Spain or something like that to try to at least deny the TP line or something.
Yeah, Spain, maybe
Ports, yeah.
Yeah, and I think
there's like no way France can win this. That was a bad pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a point though in the start of that game where you sent your outpost sort of really far forward. You wanted to build it next to the pond. Obviously, that was the position you wanted, and you were just accepting the fact that you would take a bunch of damage. But he got it sort of down to half HP. Were you worried for the outpost at all, or you knew it would just go up and everything would be fine, and etc. etc.?
I knew it would just go down to half HP. And then I knew I would have the time to just repair it.
Yeah, I mean, his Explorer and Tomahawk were quite strong. If he perhaps just came in every now and again with the Explorer to stop you repairing it, he went for pikemen, right? And maybe he could have taken down the outpost. But were you afraid of the pikes, or did you just think, oh great, he's staying H2 a bit longer, and that gives you a lot more freedom? Like how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I was also pretty happy about this because I think it's a bad decision. Like, he's definitely not going to take the TP line with a few pikes, and it went great in the game. And I think that he should have tried to age really fast and read me with goons or cuirassiers.
And then that
start with Assaurs in H2.
And then the final game was, really nice showing from you. Kaiser, I want the chat's asking, I think we should ask at least one question and answer in French. I think we'd like to see that, just the one. So if you have something prepared, that would be cool. But I think we'll leave the interview there. So if you have something in mind, go ahead.
I have to ask a question in French.
Yeah, I think people want to hear it. People are like, do the interview in French. We want to hear a question in French.
Yeah, I can do that. But before that, I would like to ask one real question, if you let me.
Yeah.
That raid in the last game that we didn't see. I want to know what happened. How did you lose like 10 villas Diarouga in the last game? Because we didn't see that. And I'm just curious about it.
Did I lose 10 vills?
I think you did. Yeah, you lost like 12 vills at some point. Like
but that was on purpose. At some point I just threw 10 vills in his army because they tanked so much damage, and I think the dog soldiers were attacking my vills at some point, and I knew that with 5 trading posts I just didn't care about 10 vills.
Okay, so, we didn't see that. I was just curious because suddenly like Sioux was 20 vills ahead. And like I was like, what
when
happened?
I have a TP line.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a bad decision. We just didn't understand how the vills died. But yeah, like, it makes sense if they were fighting.
We thought we'd not spotted a big raid or something like that. Yeah. But it sounds like you used them just to get a combat advantage and make sure you're ahead in military and nothing could go horribly wrong or something like that.
Okay, then good that we asked that question, I guess. So you want me to ask a question in French?
If you have something prepared, yeah.
No, I don't. I don't have anything prepared. I could find something, I guess. But
it's not important. I think we'll end the interview there then. All right. But yeah, thank you for joining us, Diarouga. It's good to see what you think of the games, and congratulations. We'll, I'm sure we'll see more of you, and certainly in July as well. Yeah.
Thanks for hosting this tournament.
Yeah, no problem at all. Good to have you. All right then. I will leave the call. And next up will be Tabin versus Lucas. I'm not sure when that is, but we'll throw up this. We'll throw up a timer, and we'll get back to you very soon. And that will be happening next. But yes, thank you guys. Thanks, congratulations, and thank you for casting Kaiser. And I will see you in a bit.
Yeah, see you.
All right, I'm going to pop to the bathroom, and we'll figure out what's going on next. And we'll see you shortly.